Cilo Cybin has South Africa's first company licensed to grow, process and package medical marijuana is eyeing a JSE listing. The group has announced its long-awaited IPO for public investment. This marks the final step in the medical cannabis manufacturer's journey towards a listing on the local bourse. And Gabriel Theron, founder and CEO of Cilo Cybin, joins us with more detail. Gabriel, an absolute pleasure. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
All right, Gabriel, let's get right into it. It actually has been quite a journey trying to get a Cilo Cybin registered on the JSE. Just speak to us about the journey that you've undergone.
Well, thank you so much for making time this evening. As you can see, all my partners are joining in this call. So far, it's been quite a rough journey. We're in Malaysia currently with my partners raising the funds, or that's our backer actually. To date, it's been quite rough in South Africa to get to where we are, but over the last 2 years, we've managed to regroup, secure our funding partner, and we're set to go. The good news is we're about 99% set in our IPO and only 1% left. So I think we'll be closing much earlier than anticipated of the 12th of April.
Fantastic. It really is exciting stuff. I do believe that, this listing of sorts, Gabriel, started off as a spec. Just help us understand what that was, and now, moving to a traditional listing on the JSE.
Yes. So the first phase is doing the spec. So basically think of it as raising funds into an entity. And then that entity is going to go and acquire various assets. The first asset target is Cilo Cybin Pharmaceutical, which is the first fully vertically integrated cannabis company in South Africa. So first step, raise the funds. Second step, acquire. And then from there, move on to the main board.
Now, I must also ask you about what you have said about the South African market being tough here. What was it, Gabriel? Was it a lack of investor understanding? Was it a lack of investor confidence? Was it a lack of cash flow? What do you believe has been a difficult part about trying to raise the funds here at home?
Basically, three things. The first thing that most of the feedback came back at was, first of all, focus. So focus your efforts into one specific value proposition, which is the cannabis business now. Second one, secure a backer. So have a financial institution or partner backing you. And the third one was basically make sure that the target that you're acquiring is either break even or profitable. And we've now ticked the boxes on all three of those. Hence, I believe the uptake this time around is much better than the previous round.
I'm also keen just to find out about your thoughts about market conditions. We know that, the JSE actually hasn't been performing too great, but for those businesses that have a great growth story, that hasn't been the case. I'm keen to get your, hopes for Cilo Cybin as it lists here, amidst this very difficult macroeconomic environment.
So what makes it different is, even though a lot of the companies might be going off the JSE and so forth, if you look at what we bring to the market, it's very, very unique. There isn't anything like this on the JSE already. So if investors want to participate in a cannabis value chain, this is the entity that they need to look at. A lot of investors are looking at these type of vehicles, and unfortunately, it's quite a high barrier to entry. So most investors don't have access to something like this. And through Cilo Cybin, they will have access into the global market now. We're supplying some of the biggest leaders in the cannabis space globally. So this would be the best pick if you want to participate in cannabis.
And of course, it's also beneficial just to get your thoughts on the development of this sector here in South Africa. It hasn't been an easy journey for you. It really has been, I think, more hard work than you might have anticipated when you initially started, Gabriel. Is the sector coming along fine? Are we, seeing new companies come on board? The licensing issue has always been a difficult one here in South Africa. How are we faring in that regard? Could we be doing more to support our cannabis sector here at home?
Look, in terms of the licensing, I think we've got that under control. if you look at the amount of cannabis licenses out to date, there's over 100 cultivation licenses, over 4 processing licenses. So I don't think it's a licensing issue. It's more access to market and a quality issue. So a lot of the farms currently struggle to produce a quality product that they can sell into the international market, bearing in mind that your license only caters for an international supply or selling into the international market and not so much local. So for us to meet that standard, a lot of the companies are struggling to hit that high standard in order for them to export. So it's not so much a licensing issue, but a quality issue. And I think that is where the biggest constraints currently lie. And a lot of the cannabis companies will tell you in South Africa, it's one of the toughest businesses to be in, specifically around that. There isn't skill set available so that you can get a skilled cultivator, which is a big problem. This is not growing any other crop. Cannabis is very unique, very specialized to grow. And I think a lot of the earlier adopters are realizing that now, that you need specialized skill to actually grow a consistent crop after repeatedly.
And before I let you go, I think, what that does tell us then here, Gabriel, is that actually there's lots of potential here for skills development, for a whole industry to literally start from scratch and emerge, with those early adopters and, of course, scientists and so on moving into that. And I'm wondering, if that is something the industry is developing, albeit difficult, albeit slow. Are we seeing all of this coming online, the skills, the resources, the knowledge, the standardization even?
It's very slow. The uptake is very slow, and even financing is very slow and very difficult to come by. And however, there are some of the government departments starting to look at cannabis and be like, okay, we can fund these initiatives. So that's very positive. But it is still a long journey for us to go. And currently the cannabis or THC scheduling is under review. So we'll see in the next couple of weeks how that is going to pan out and what that is going to bring to the South African market and how. So I think from that perspective, a lot of good things are coming. South Africa is moving in a good direction. It's always too slow if you're in the business side, but from a regulatory point, I think they're moving as fast as they can, which is a good thing.
Brilliant. Well, it's an absolute pleasure hearing from you, Gabriel, and looking forward to chatting some more in the future. Congratulations on this fantastic achievement. That was Gabriel Theron. He's founder and CEO at Cilo Cybin.